Hey guys, welcome back to Chugdi Football TV. Welcome back to Chugdi Football TV. What is going on at Atalanta? What is going on at Atalanta? What is this? What is this thing with Italian clubs and Nigerian players? This thing with Italian clubs and Nigerian players, and it's not even like not to be disrespectful or anything, but it's not like it's it's not like it's the small the upcoming Nigerian players, or the ones not making so much waves. It's the big ones, like Napoli and the saga between Napoli and Victor Osimhen. Now Gasperini and Ademola Lookman that won a major trophy for Atalanta, scoring a hat-trick, a Ballon d'Or, the only Ballon d'Or contender from Atalanta, the current best player in Africa, the current CAF best player. Why would and this is why I don't understand, right? Why do media, for example, and football pundits, why do they think it's okay for coaches to say to basically step on a player's character, and when the player responds, it's a problem? It's, oh, he shouldn't have done that, oh, he was disrespectful, oh, he will be boxed out of the team, and all sorts of nonsense. This is not Ademola Lookman, with all due respect to Jadon Sancho. Right now, Ademola Lookman and Sancho, they're on different levels. This is not an Eric Ten Hag situation where you will talk ill of Jadon Sancho and he responds, then you box him out of the team. This is one of your best players. So if you box him out of the team and you're not doing well, you would have to face management. You would have to face management. And remember that coaches go. For the most part, players stay, depending on how elite and how important the player is to the club. Players have conspired to get coaches sacked. We've heard it a lot of times. It was a common thing at Chelsea back in their heyday. It was a common thing where the players wouldn't like a coach, and a bunch of them, Terry, Lampard, Mikel, Drogba, they will all go and see Roman Abramovich, and the coach will be gone. So depending on how important a player is, their player stays. Coaches get replaced more. Now, apparently, I was looking at what's his name, Fabrizio Romano's Instagram early on, and he said that either way, Ademola Lookman is leaving in the summer. It's basically like an agreed conversation with him and the management and the club and all that stuff, that this coming summer he's going to leave. He's going to leave Atalanta. But while he's still at Atalanta, why would Gasperini do what he did? Why would you come out during a press conference and drag your player for filth, especially your best player? Now, you can argue that Retegui, or whatever the guy's name is, the Atalanta striker, who is the highest goal scorer in the league right now, I believe, and who is having an incredible season, is, okay, maybe the best player or whatever. But Ademola Lookman is the franchise player in that club. He's the franchise player. If he's not the best player, at least he's second best in Atalanta at the moment. The one that led you to a major trophy, scoring a hat-trick. The only player to score a hat-trick in Europa final. He's also one of the highest goal scorers in the Italian Serie A this season. I think he's fourth. Last time I checked, he was fourth. Maybe he's gone up now. Maybe he's gone down. I don't know. But last time I checked, he was fourth. Let me even check to be sure. Let me see. Who is on the list? Number one, Retegui for Atalanta. Number 2, Moiskin for Fiorentina. Okay. Having a good season, Moiskin. Number 3, Marcus Thuram. Number 4, Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman he's played 19 games, scored 10 goals. He's the 4th highest goal scorer. So what are you talking about? Why would you come out and drag your player for fields because he missed a penalty in the Champions League? Then you come out and say he's the worst penalty taker you've ever seen. You've ever seen. And I like what Ademola Lookman put out. I like the statement he put out. No, it wasn't disrespectful, but I encourage players to talk. Coaches can't just come and just dump narratives on players and you expect them to keep quiet because they are not humans. How can you come out and say that? I don't know. It's baffling because he's been incredible for you all season. It was incredible for you last season. Won you a major trophy against, at the time, an informed Bayern Leverkusen, who were on fire last year, winning cups, and not. How many games did they even lose? He scored a hat-trick to win at Atalanta. That final made it to the Nations Cup final with Nigeria. Was the best player in that tournament. The best player, one of the best players. Well, it doesn't matter. One of the highest goal scorers. CAF award winner. Ballon d'Or contender. And you drag him like this. And you drag him like because he lost a penalty because the person that was supposed to take, or the designated penalty taker for Atalanta decided to give him the ball to play the penalty. Then you come out on your press conference and say that, he's the worst penalty taker you've ever seen. Why should he have taken the pen? And apparently, Gasperini has had a problem. He's not new to this. He had a problem with Papu Gomez. Remember Papu Gomez? I think that was incredible. I think wasn't it Papu Gomez or something like he's had problems with players before. So this is not like a new thing. What you don't appreciate will leave you. That is just how life is. What you do not appreciate will leave you. Because I can imagine what the dynamic is now in the team, in the club, within the club, between the player and the coach and the management. I can imagine. I'm sure, obviously, they're not stupid, so they're going to have like an internal dialogue. They're going to have a meeting with management, probably where definitely the coach will be present. Ademola Lookman will be present as well. Maybe the captain will be present, or a few players will be present. And some high-ranking management in the club. They'll probably have an internal dialogue to smoothen things out. But the damage is done. The damage is done already. You said what you said. You know, you can apologize, but you've said what you said. It's gone out. It's different if you told him on a one-on-one level, but you came out in front of the world during a press conference with different various articles there present, and you said what you said. You threw him under the bus. So even if you apologize, 50% damage is done already. Now you're trying to save another 50. And I don't know how Gasperini is. If he's a stubborn man, he might say that he said what he said and he's not taking it back. And that would create another ripple effect amongst not just the player and the coach, but amongst the team dynamic. Amongst the team dynamic, because now the player will feel like you don't trust him, you don't like him, you are just waiting for a perfect time to speak your mind, and the perfect time came and you said what you said. These are the things that makes a player, even when the player loves the club, the player is what makes a player, want to leave. Even if they want to stay, they're enjoying the club, they're enjoying, living in the city and things like that. They might be like, you know what, I'm not appreciated here, so let me leave. And I'm not saying that if Ademola leaves in the summer, which is probably going to do, but I'm not saying that if he leaves in the summer, it's over for Atalanta. No, because elite players come every day, right? Atalanta as a club existed. Atalanta as a club existed before Ademola Lookman, and it's still existing with him in there, and it's going to exist after he's left. But so will he. So will he. It won't be easy getting a player of his caliber to replace him, especially after all the triumphs he's done for Atalanta. So yeah, I just think it didn't make sense. That's in totality what I'm just trying to say. All this talk is too much. In totality, what I'm trying to say is that was a bad move. That wasn't smart by, an elite coach like Gasperini, if I will even call him that. And even let me even leave the coach title, just as an individual, as a wise man. Gasperini is an old man. He should know better. He's an old man. He should know better. I'm sure he has kids. Would you throw your kids under the bus for making a mistake? Ademola Lookman is probably Gasperini is probably old enough to be Ademola Lookman's grandfather, not even father, grandfather. Coaches that usually, when you look at coaches that succeed, one thing you will always hear about them is their players will always tell you that they look at them almost like a father figure. When you see people like Michael Essien, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard talk about Jose Mourinho, they talk about him in, more than a coach, more like a father figure. That's how they talk about him. When you see Zanetti talk about Mourinho, he talks about him almost like a father figure. When you see people like Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Gary Neville, Andy Cole, Dwight York, when these people talk about Sir Alex Ferguson, they talk about him almost like a father. Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, when he talks about, he's even said it before, they see these guys more than coaches. They see them like a father figure. The same thing with Wenger, as a Wenger, and then Dennis Bergkamp, a young Thierry, and so many other more, Fabregas. These guys look at the coach, these coaches, modern coaches, look at them like a father. And yes, coaches and players get into it every day. It happens. David Beckham and Sir Alex Ferguson was one of the most famous one, where Alex Ferguson even threw a boot at David Beckham's face. Mourinho has gone off on players. As a Wenger, the same thing, and so on and so forth. You know, people like Carlo Ancelotti. But when you look at when players talk about these coaches, they talk at them as like almost father figures. I'm sure that these coaches scold players one-on-one, but you would hardly see them come out in public and say things like that. And Gasperini isn't even half as successful as any of these coaches I mentioned. So yeah, I just think it was rubbish, and I just think Atalanta need to. I'm sure they're having their own internal dialogue and all, doing things to rectify the situation and all that stuff. But it is, yeah, it was wrong. It was wrong, and Gasperini should know better. Gasperini should know better. So that's about it, man. Look forward for my next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And can't wait to see you next time. Peace.